Welcome to the Daily for Tuesday, March 26th with Greg Lawless. I'm Jason Seguini, and Greg, I decided I wasn't going to get my hair cut until the U.S. took 3 points at the Azteca. Can I book my appointment for tomorrow morning?
No. I think you might end up with a very long hair by the end of this. They're not going to get 3 points at Azteca tonight. This is going to be a game, though, that the U.S. doesn't really need to get 3 points. They need to get 1 point out of this one, and I think they should go into it with that mindset. You're looking for that 1 point. If they can come out early, try and jump all over them, because the Mexican crowd will turn against Mexico if the U.S. can get a lead. In fact, their coach, Chepo de la Torre, actually came out and said he's basically urging the fans at Azteca to stay behind their team the entire 90 minutes, which is an amazing thing that you have to say that to your fans, to stay behind your team.
Yeah, if anyone watched the Jamaica game, I mean, the performance that Jamaica was able to put on at the Azteca had the Mexican fans turning on their team. And at this point, Mexico only 2 points out of 2 games. The way that they dropped a 2-goal lead to Honduras.
The pressure's on.
Yeah, the pressure is more so on Mexico at this point than the U.S. And I think you're going to see tonight a Mexico team that is very fragile, and what can the U.S. do? I think that's the question.
Well, I think that the U.S. just needs to play compact. If they can stay compact, particularly in the midfield, I think it actually does hurt to not have Jermaine Jones in there. He's injured, he's back in Germany, but he can be such a good cog in the middle. So now whoever it falls to, whether it's Maurice Adu or Kyle Beckerman, they're going to have to be that cog in the midfield to slow things down. Also, Michael Orozco Fiscal called in yesterday to the national team. Remember, he is sort of the lucky charm. He scored that goal against Mexico last time they were at Azteca for that friendly last year. Can he be a lucky charm again? Maybe. Not for scoring goals, but is he a guy that they will actually bring in? You don't call him in the day before if you're not going to use him in some way. It might be as a sub, doesn't matter. But you're going to use him, otherwise you wouldn't be calling him in.
I don't know. I think there's something to the name, and to get that out into the Mexican media, hey, this is the guy who beat you at Azteca last time. Again, that game, you can see it 10:30 p.m. tonight, but 9:30 is the pregame show on ESPN. You can also see that game on Univision, of course, in Spanish. We will have a full preview on MLSsoccer.com this afternoon, so don't forget to check that out. With the big U.S.-Mexico game tonight, it's got us talking a lot about the rivalry between U.S. and Mexico in soccer, and that's spread down to the leagues. When you look at Liga MX, has been the dominant league in CONCACAF for a long time now, and MLS now just kind of chipping away at it, you think, and you kind of see that in Champions League right now. Greg, you've been thinking a lot about it. What are your thoughts on this rivalry?
Well, you mentioned Champions League, and I think that's where it's starting to be seen on the field. But you can also look at some of the numbers, and over the weekend I was thinking about international players in both of the two leagues. So I looked at all of the players from each league who played in World Cup qualifiers on Friday or Saturday. So that doesn't, not including the Tuesday night games, obviously. And here's the deal. 23 players who are with an MLS club played in a World Cup qualifier either on Friday or Saturday somewhere around the world. 17 players who are in Liga MX played in a World Cup qualifier somewhere around the world. A couple of caveats. One, that 23 for MLS does not include Kai Kamara or Carlos Valdez, who both played for their countries. They're on loan from their MLS club in another country. It also does not include the 4 or 5 Ecuadorian internationals who play in Liga MX, because Ecuador did not play a qualifier on Friday. They played a friendly. So, what does it all mean? Who knows, really. But it's an interesting little statistic that I saw. Got me thinking about this rivalry between the two countries a little bit more, a little bit about the leagues. And don't forget, it's MLS versus Liga MX in the CONCACAF Champions League semifinals next week. So we're already getting into that mindset a little bit.
All right, plenty more to chew on. We'll see how those numbers change after the games tonight as well. Taking a look at this week's Castrol Index, I think we have one of the youngest players to ever be at the top of a weekly ranking, and that, of course, the LA Galaxy's Jack McBean, the 18-year-old, putting on a great performance for the Galaxy, top of the list.
Yeah, he didn't get a goal in this one, but he certainly had a good performance for the Galaxy. But this was actually a week for the goalkeepers, because 2, 3, and 4 are all goalkeepers. San Jose's John Bush, New England's Matt Reese, and Chris Seitz from FC Dallas. A wonderful story about him showing up and playing for the first time since he had that bone marrow transplant last fall. And at number 5, his teammate Jackson at FC Dallas, who has scored a goal and had a terrific performance.
All right, fitting to have all those goalkeepers on the list. And remind you, Save of the Week voting starts today. Also on the site, power rankings. I know the fans love to debate the power rankings. Don't forget the US-Mexico preview on MLSsoccer.com today. Tune into the site to see that. Enjoy the US-Mexico game tonight or whatever qualifier you're interested in, and we'll be back on the Daily tomorrow.